Hi, I'm Jake from TradeLab.ai, and in this video, we're going to be talking about how to use variables to make easy settings so that you can share your strategies and people can set them up easily. So to get started, first we'll open our strategy. I'm going to go with the simple buy and sell template to get started, and then we'll go over to our variables tab. The variables tab is over on the sidebar, and there's a plus button. And if we hit plus, we can create a variable, either alphanumeric, number, or true and false. I'm going to go ahead and select alphanumeric. And what I'm going to do is create a label. Some strategies need to be able to filter so that you can run side by side. Other strategies can be filtered by time frame and different sort of approaches. Because of that, we don't have just one way to filter your strategies or label them. Instead, we allow you to set it up however you want. And so for this example, I'm going to set up a variable called label, and I'll just set like a default as the label, and people can change that when they go into strategy setup. Okay, so I'll hit the check mark, and that's going to add that. So in order for this to show up in strategy setup, we need to go to the advanced edit screen, which is this button at the top. If we click on this, we can see our variable right here, label. And if we click edit right here, there's two extra buttons, read only and show in setup. We're going to check both of these. Okay. And then we're going to hit the check mark to save, and we'll hit exit. So now that we have label set up as a variable, we need to add it to our alert. So if we go to the alerts tab, we can click edit to edit one of our alerts, and we can scroll down and click the add field button. This is going to add us a field, and we'll call it label. We'll make that a string, and we'll check the dynamic box. Okay. Now what we can do is select the strategy variable option and then select label. So now we have label, and you can see it says default in our message, and we would click save. We can go over to the sell alert and scroll down, and we can see that it's already set up for us. We can click save on this. So what we've just done is filled our alert with our variable. So now our alert and our alert message has our variable in it. When our alert is sent, we're going to run it in our rules. And we want our rules to do a condition to filter to make sure that our label in our alert matches the label that we have saved in our variable. That way we know that we're getting the right alert for this strategy. All right, so to do that, we'll click add condition on this rule right here. And we're going to do this for each rule that has custom alerts in it. So if we already have custom alerts in a rule, we're going to go ahead and add this filter so that all of our alerts are filtered and we only listen for alerts for this strategy. So if we click here, we'll click custom alerts and we'll select label. And then on the next one, click here and we'll select strategy variables label. Right? So now we're label equals label. We're comparing the alert to the variable. Okay. And now that that is compared, we can move on to our next rule and do the same thing. We would just do custom alert label and strategy variables label. Okay. Do this for the rest of them. All right, and so now that we have our alerts and our variables and our rules all set up, those are the 3 steps. We'll go ahead and click save, and we can click exit. So now we can see our generic buy and sell combo template. It's ready to go. So if we click edit to enter it again, you'll see the strategy setup pop up just as it would if somebody copied this. And if it didn't pop up, you can go to the strategy menu in the top left and click strategy setup. Okay. the strategy setup screen will pop up. We'll click do it now, and we'll see the label that we just created right here. It says default, which is what we gave it. So as people are setting up their strategy, they'll select their exchange, their market mode, and their symbol. And now, because we made our variable, they'll fill out their label as well. This label will be used with our rules and our alerts to make sure that we don't collide with others, as long as they make all of their labels separate and different, right? And so we just created that functionality in this strategy. So we just click continue. We would set up our alerts. If we go into our alert, we would see the default right here. And in fact, I'll show you if we go back, hit strategy setup, and type in something new like my RSI, and then I click continue. If I go to my buy alert, we'll see that my RSI is now filled in, right? So each person would come in, fill out their label for each strategy. You would click on your alert, you would put that into TradingView, and now that alert is baked in for this strategy and should only work on this label, right? So that's how we set up an option in a strategy for somebody else who's setting up the strategy to easily manipulate. We covered how to set up a variable. We hooked up that variable to an alert. We got our alerts hooked up to our variable in our rules so that we are now filtering each of the rules and only running them based off of that variable. And then we covered how this is used by going into strategy setup and seeing the label inside of there. This will conclude this tutorial video. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop us a line via the help button. You can click the create support ticket. That'll send me an email. I'll email you back. Or you can find us on Discord. I'm there just about every day. And we have weekly calls to cover what's new that end up on the YouTube videos here. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If you like this video, go ahead and give us a like, subscribe for more updates, and I'll see you next time.